Last update, we got our first limited 5-star Harmony character, Ruan Mei. She has tons of really good kit and flexibility. Now we're at version 2.0 on phase 2. They're releasing a new region, Penacony, with 2 new limited 5-star characters, Black Swan and the one that's just came out, Sparkle. Sparkle has a main ability to increase skill point cap. Yes, you heard it right. She can increase the skill point limit up to 8 skill point and she can action forward your DPS and give them a crit damage and crit rate buff. Her buff is as good as Bronya or might be even bigger. And if you are a Qingxue or Danheng IL main, you should check this Sparkle guide of mine so that your QQ and Danheng IL become even more powerful DPS. This guide is divided into segments. You can check the timestamp on the description of the video. And before we continue with the guide, please like this video if you like and share it with your friends. Also, please subscribe to my channel. It helps me a lot, and by subbing to my channel, you are already giving me motivation to make more videos like this. And might as well click the bell icon so you'll be the first to get notified for a new video. Now, let's hop into the guide. Let's start with what Lightcone option is best for her. For a 4-star, you have her signature. It's her peasant slot. At S1, it gives the wearer 32% crit damage and gain the wearer mask status that lasts for 3 turns. This effect gives ally 10% crit rate and 28% crit damage. And its second effect is for every skill point the wearer recovers, including the exceeding limit, the wearer got mask status for 4 turns. It is really good Lightcone, and it's so tied to Sparkle, which can only be a good stat stick for another Harmony character. Hello, this is Bun from the future. I think I misread and misunderstood the description of this Lightcone. I said it is only good stat stick for another Harmony character. I will rephrase my statement that this Lightcone is insane to use by all the Harmony characters, since it gives all allies 10% crit rate and 28% crit damage. Basically 48 CV right there, because the mask status given by the Lightcone is simply non-conditional. Just by the character is existing on the battlefield, then they will give the 48 CV buff to all allies. Okay, now back to my past self. Next we have Bronya's signature. In my honest opinion, this Lightcone is bad for Sparkle, because Sparkle herself can buff more than this Lightcone. But if you have one, you can use it on her. It's a nice 10% ERR and 30% more damage for your DPS. For the 4-star Lightcone, we have past and future. Again, to me, this is the best 4-star Lightcone on her, because at S5 it gives 32% damage for the next character taking action, meaning your DPS that has been action forwarded by Sparkle easily got its damage bonus. But this condition requires a few tricks. I'll cover that later in the video. Another good 4-star Lightcone is DDD or Dance Dance Dance. This one is also my personal favorite Lightcone for Sparkle, since it can action forward your entire team after the wearer uses their ultimate by 24% at S5. You can use Planetary Rendezvous on Sparkle on a Mono Quantum team, or if you play her with Zila, Qingxue, Shui. But if I remember correctly, this Lightcone is mistranslated or something because its description is ambiguous. It's just said the damage dealt increased by 24% at S5. They're not mentioning who gets the damage increase. Anyway, I don't really like the Lightcone on her. Do you guys have your opinion about this Lightcone, or have I said something wrong about this Lightcone? Let me know in the comment. I really appreciate it. Next, if you buy the Battle Pass, you can pick the Lightcone with the Tingyun image on it. It is a good Lightcone, and if you're playing Genshin Impact, think of it as like the Witsit. It gives a big buff but randomly. And for the other Harmony Lightcone from the Battle Pass, it's bad. It is so restrictive. I don't know why they release such a Lightcone within a Battle Pass. I don't like it. Just choose the one that has Tingyun on it. For free to play, there's the goated meshing cogs. It gives a lot of energy to the wearer, making them to do ultimate faster, and you can S5 it pretty easily. Let's hop into her main kit. First, her basic attack, just a normal basic attack, deals quantum damage based on her attack. And then her skill. This is the one that you should prioritize to level up as high as possible and as soon as possible. I really recommend maxing it out. At level 10, it increases the crit damage of a single target ally by 24% of Sparkle's crit damage plus 45%, lasting for one turn. And at the same time, it advances forward this ally action by 50%. When Sparkle uses this ability on herself, the action advance effect will not trigger. This ability is similar to Piranha, but it gives crit damage instead of damage bonus. And another difference is Sparkle's advance forward is just 50%, meaning that you have a chance of your DPS not taking action right after Sparkle. And now for her talent. When she just exists in the battlefield, she will increase the skill point cap by 2, and whenever allies consume 1 skill point, all allies damage increased by 6%, stacking up to 3 times. So this talent can be triggered by all allies, and the damage buff is not just for the ally that uses skill points, but for the entire party. So this is a nice talent to level up to max. And her ultimate is the main course for Qingshui and Tanhong IL main, because it recovers 4 skill points and gives all allies Cypher status. Every ally with Cypher, the damage boost they get from Sparkle's talent additionally increases by 10% each stack, lasting for 2 turns at talent level 10. This is a really good buff for Qingshui and Tanhong IL, because it doesn't just increase the damage but also recovers a lot of skill points, considering both of them are a skill point hungry characters. Her technique is really nice. When she casts her technique, all allies cannot get detected by enemies, and when entering combat, immediately recovers 3 skill points. Her Ascension ability is quite nice. A2 gives 10 energy every time Sparkle does basic attack. This does not scale with ERR, it's just flat 10 energy. A4 makes the crit damage last until the start of target's next turn. A6 gives all allies 15% attack, and on top of that, if you have 1, 2 or 3 quantum character on your party, you can get up to 30% attack in total of 45% attack. That's a lot. And her minor traces give a total of 24% crit damage, 28% HP and 10% effect rest. So, to summarize for which talent you should prioritize to level up first is her skill and then ultimate alongside with talent. And you can ignore her basic attack, or you can max it out if you really love her. Now we're in the relic section. The best relic set for her is the 4-piece messenger set or the speed set. Yeah, sure, you can use 4-piece wind set for a funny action forward build, but I don't really recommend it. For the feet piece, you will always want speed boots. It's always mandatory to run speed boots on your sport. And the body piece you want is a crit damage body piece, since it can give Sparkle more crit damage for obvious reasons. And there's plenty option for planner set. You can use the Penacony set if you pair her with Qingshui or Shui, because it gives 5% ERR and 10% damage for other allies that has the same element with the wearer. And this effect is stackable, meaning you can use the Penacony set on other sports. For the general planar set, I recommend the Broken Keel set. It gives you 10% effect rest, and if the wearer has a 30% or higher effect rest, it gives all allies 10% crit damage. The Fonwak set is also fine too if you want your party to move faster at the start of the battle. Now for the link rope, I personally recommend ERR rope for Sparkle to be able to 3-turn ult. And for the spear, you choose any defensive spear like HP percentage or defense percentage. For substat to prioritize, I prefer speed over crit damage and then another defensive substat, especially effect rest. If you manage to reach the speed breakpoint on your Sparkle, which is 160 to 170 for fast Sparkle or -1 speed from your DPS, you can get more rolls on the crit damage. Now for my fellow small spender and a Giga Saver. Sparkle's Eidolon is good, but don't get baited. E1 makes her Cypher last 1 turn longer and gives 40% attack to all allies. E2 reduces enemy defense by 8% for every stack from Sparkle's talent has. This can be up to 25% defense reduction. E3 increases the level of skill and basic attack. E4 recovers one more skill point on ultimate and increases the skill point cap by 1. So you have 8 skill points instead of 7. E5 increase the level of talent and ultimate. E6 increase the crit damage buff from skill by additionally 30% more of Sparkle's crit damage and spread the crit damage buff from Sparkle's skill to all allies with Cypher. For me, E1 or E2 is a good stopping point, and if you ask me which one is more worth getting, S1 or E1, my answer is S1, her signature, over her E1. Lastly, let's talk about her team comms. Her main kit is giving the party many skill points to use, so QQ and Danheng IL is her best pair, along with another Harmony, Nihility or Sustain unit. Personally, QQ Mono Quantum is the team I like the most, and for Danheng IL team, I like this kind of team. You can abuse the skill point by using Wealth skill pretty often, and if Danheng IL with Wealth, you can use 4-piece Imaginary on Danheng IL. Also, you can use Sparkle with Jingliu's team if you don't have Bronya to action forward Jingliu. And that's it for my Sparkle guide. I know it is a bit scuffed and my English is not that good, but as long as you like the video despite the shortcomings in speaking English that I have, I really appreciate it. If you like this type of video that I make, you can give a like to this video and subscribe to my channel. It does bring my mood and happiness back to making a video. Thanks again for watching and see you in the next video. Bye!